Hey! Okay, so this morning I was reading a book. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek. And there was this section in it about goals and your dreams and your ambitions and where you want to be in 6 months and 12 months. And it got very candid. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, what I read, some of the quotes that I read, because it was amazing and it blew my mind. And I definitely wanted to share it with you because I want you to think like this for yourself and just kind of do a quick inventory of your thinking and see if it can offer even more motivation and just clarity on what your actual goals are and and basically how you react to that. Okay, so basically what it was saying was that when people set their goals, everybody sets realistic goals. They think, oh, well, I better be realistic with myself so I don't scare myself. I better be realistic with myself so that I don't, mess up, so that I don't fail. I'll do something that's attainable so that I don't fail. And so here's what he says. He says that doing the unrealistic is actually easier than doing the realistic goals. There's a lot of competition at the level of realistic goals because everyone in this world goes after realistic things. So everyone's trying to do realistic things. It's actually easier to break your way into the unrealistic things because nobody's willing to go that far. Nobody's willing to believe in themselves that much. It's easier to actually believe in yourself that much than it is for you to be constantly barraged with the doubt that you get from everybody else that's just going for realistic goals. It's amazing to think of it that way. It says, do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You're better than you think. The worst that can happen isn't crashing and burning. It's accepting the terminal discontent as your status quo. That line right there was the most powerful for me. The worst that can happen isn't crashing and burning. That's not the worst that can happen. What's the worst that can happen is accepting this forever discontent. Like, it's cool. I'll be discontent with myself and my health for the rest of my life. And that's fine. That's the worst that can happen, is not actually going after something enormous. If you go after something enormous, your biggest goal, and you crash and burn, hey, you crash and burn, so get up and do it again. At least you went after it, as opposed to just accepting discontent. Success can be measured in the number of uncomfortable situations you're willing to put yourself in. If we attempt to stay comfortable our entire lives, we'll never take steps forward, right? Why are you in here? Do you want to grow? Do you want to improve? Do you want to get better? Ask yourself those questions. Well, in order to do that, in order to go through any kind of change, right? We're going to have to be a little bit uncomfortable. Well, your success is measured in the number of uncomfortable situations you're willing to just drive through. It's easy to sell yourself short, but when you see others losing X amount in 5 months, it forces you to reconsider yourself. It forces you to reconsider your self-set limitations, because nobody set the limitations for yourself but you, right? But you see other people out there doing it. Not very many, right? Because like I said, not very many people are brave enough to go after that monster goal. Here's a great quote. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail better. You won't believe what you can accomplish by attempting the impossible with the courage to repeatedly fail better. You have to have the courage to repeatedly fail better. Go after it with an abandon, right? And so this is what he talks about. He talks about not calling your stuff goals, because goals are far in the future. They're easy to forget. They're easy to just push off to the side and say, I'll get to it one day. He wants you to ask yourself, and I want you to ask yourself, what would excite you? What's the one thing that would actually make you feel excited? What is that? That needs to be your to-do list right there. So our action plan for today, it's called a dream line. I want you to set out a 6-month timeline and a 12-month timeline. I want you to write one thing that you want to have in 6 months, one thing that you want to be in 6 months, and one thing you want to do in 6 months. And if it pertains to health and fitness, good, write that down. 12 months, same thing. Have, be, and do one thing of each. Okay? And then underneath that, you're just going to star the most important one for you. The one that would change everything. The one that would change it all. If you had this one thing, your entire life would be different. And I want you to take 3 steps. Write down 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3 of what you're going to do. Little actionable steps, 5-minute steps, little things that you can do to take a step forward towards that one, part of your dream line that would change everything. One of the steps is what you're going to do right now. One of the steps is what you're going to do tomorrow. And one of the steps is what you're going to do the next day. Right? So go ahead and write those down for yourself. So that's our actionable goal. First of all, think about what is it that would excite you? What is it that would actually excite you? What would make you feel excited? Write out a dream line, 6 months, 12 months. You can even do 3 months and 6 months if you have a health and fitness goal that you want to happen quicker than that, right? One thing you want to have, one thing you want to be, one thing you want to do. Star the one that would change everything. Write down one thing you can do right now to take a step towards it. Easy 5-minute thing, right? One thing you do right now, pour out your Coke, go get some water, right? One thing you can do tomorrow, go to the grocery store and get a few more healthy snacks so that you don't grab candy bars. That's a very good actionable step. One thing you can do the next day, you can plan out your entire meal for the week and go to the grocery store. You see? Super simple things, but thinking of it in those terms changes everything, right? And I want to leave you with basically restating the quote that I think is the most important out of all of this that I read, and it just literally blew my mind, The worst that can happen isn't crashing and burning. We shouldn't fear failing. We shouldn't. What we should fear is being okay with things we're not okay with. That's what we should fear. So I want you to reform your thinking on the stuff you're afraid of. Why aren't you moving forward? Why aren't you doing what it is that you wanted to do from this in the get-go, right? Or if you are, what is it that you're holding back on? Are you just kind of setting your bar a little low so that you be sure to reach it? Why aren't you setting the bar this high? The worst thing that can happen isn't crashing and burning. It's not failing. The worst that can happen is accepting the discontent and being okay with it. So I hope that was as epically powerful for you as it is for me today. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope it helped. Hey, you guys, send me a message. Shoot me a comment or a message. Let me know what is your one thing that will excite you. And then after that, go take your action step and make your little dream line. You guys have an amazing Thursday. We'll call this Thoughtful Thursday. How about that? I'll see you guys later.